Welcome back to the Programming Juvenile. I'm Alex, an indie game developer, and I'm currently working on a project called Lone Wolf WW2 with a small group of my friends, which I'm creating with the Unity game engine. It's been around 6 months since I started this project, and I think we've just about hit a massive milestone. I think we've just about finished the entire endless mode. Creating this mode first up, before any story modes, has given us the ability to work on the area design, mechanics, and visuals without really having to think about any of the levels. But now that we're nearing completion of this mode, I personally have been jumping onto a Google Doc, typing out some ideas for the story, and I think I've got a solid idea. But I'll be talking a bit more about that later today. Firstly, before we get into everything I've been working on lately, if you haven't a clue what we are talking about here today, then I'd recommend you go back and watch the 2 prior devlogs in this series. Anyway, let's get straight into it. Now that we are nearly finished with the endless mode of Lone Wolf WW2, it has given me time to sit back and reflect on what final features would really help this game take itself to the next level. That's when I came up with the idea of this guy. I mean, my idea of him was just like a white rectangle, but that was quickly taken down by the artist. I was thinking about how the game would feel in the story mode, things like how the player will get from level to level, how the player will get to the stores, things like that. My first thought was to just have cutscenes and menu screens, but then I thought of this. This feature gives you the ability to drop and land at any tarmac in the game and explore the area that surrounds it. This will help the game feel more whole and smooth, as there will barely ever be menus and loading screens once you're in the game, which I think will be cool. But of course, let me know what you think of this feature in the comment section. I'd really like to know what you all think of it. Also, you'll be able to jump out your plane soon, with a parachute. Why not, There are a few negatives to this though. I now have to go through every single object in the game and set up its collisions for when the player is on the ground. This will be very time consuming, but when it's done it'll be a great feature for the game in my opinion. The next thing we are really working hard on is adding as many areas to the game as possible. This will not just help make the endless mode more exciting, but it will also give us more options of things to put in each level of the game when we start setting that up. Since the last video we have set up 2 more biomes I think, ocean and desert. I can't remember if you've all seen these biomes yet, but if you follow me on Instagram then you definitely would have seen them. The ocean area is filled with little islands, U-boats, medical ships, and sometimes even some fishing boats. And the second biome, desert, has enemy towers, villages taken over by the Axis forces, and of course some cacti and palm trees. Over time, especially when we start creating custom objects for certain levels, we'll be filling these areas up with more and more exciting content, so there'll be much more to blow up. I've also been adding rivers to areas in the grass and desert biome. I feel like they add just another nice bit of colour to the area, and they just help keep things feeling different. Another big feature we've been working on is the weather systems for the game. There is currently rain and snow, but I'm planning on seeing them up so certain biomes have less and some have more weather systems to make it feel more realistic. For example, the desert wouldn't just have rain pouring down randomly, nor would it snow. In the ocean, it probably wouldn't snow very often. I want to add more weather systems to the game though, things like lightning and thunderstorms, sandstorms, and so much more. If you have any ideas for weather systems, I'd love to hear them. Oh, and another feature I really want to add to the game is 2-player. I just feel like it would be so cool to fly around with a friend. I don't exactly know how it'll work, but I just reckon it'd be really cool to have in the game, and make it so much more enjoyable. Most of my games in the past I have added 2-player, and sometimes even 4-player options, but it has always felt a little forced and it never fully feels like it should be there. But it'll be different this time, hopefully. I know it kinda breaks the whole lone wolf thing, but there's nothing wrong with 2 lone wolves working together for once, is there? But now that we are nearing the end of the endless mode, I want to talk to you all about what the story plans for the game are. Of course, I'll try to keep it spoiler free. I just want to give you an idea of what it'll be like so you can tell me if it's just absolute trash or not. The story is about a farmer in London called Peter Dawson. He is super stubborn and never lets anyone help him with anything. That changes though when he decides to join the RAF in his father's footsteps, as he is forced to learn how to work in a squadron. So that's like maybe the first few minutes of the game. I don't really want to go much further as spoiling games just sucks. But if you want to read the full plan and give some feedback, then let me know on Discord and I'll consider sending it over to you. Finally, over the past few weeks I've been thinking a lot about how I'm going to be marketing the game. I've decided that I can't just purely rely on these devlogs to spread the word of the game, as I can't make these as often as I wish I could. These devlogs take a lot of time to create. I mean at least one whole week. That's a whole week that I can't work on a game. So that's why you haven't seen much content on this channel lately. And it doesn't help that since we are now out of lockdown in New Zealand, all of these tests that were delayed over lockdown have just been sprung all in our faces. So I've decided that sure, I'll be making these videos when I can, but I need something else. Something I can constantly work on to build the audience of the game. I've been posting a lot on Instagram lately and I'm planning to continue doing this. It just doesn't feel like that is the best place for it. Over the last few weeks I've been looking into websites such as Twitter, Facebook, Reddit and much more to decide where my main focus for marketing will be. I've also started working on a website for the game, which will come in handy once I've set up the Steam page, because I can direct potential buyers through the page and take them straight to Steam where they can wishlist. Though I do not currently have a Steam page set up, I'm planning on putting one up hopefully in the next month or so. Firstly, before I end off this video, Tobey, the music creator for this game, has worked on another masterpiece of a track which I absolutely love. Here's a little sneak peek of it. If you are interested in his work, then be sure to check him out on Spotify and Instagram. I'll have the links in the description, plus any I forgot to mention. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to hit that thumbs up button to show your support, and subscribe if you haven't already for more content on this game, Lone Wolf World War 2. Also, make sure to comment down below and let me know what you think of the game's progress. I appreciate every single comment I read, and I try to respond to basically every single one of them. Also, make sure to share this video and my channel to all your friends who you think will be interested. We're getting increasingly close to that 250 subscriber milestone. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and until next time, see ya.